Okay, so let's go and do that live together. I hope you will enjoy what we do, and I also hope that everything goes well with my computers and with the thing that we're going to do, because today, so you can see on my screen that the goal of today is to accomplish that. It's to be able to, when we pay some things, to do a kind of a filter on the amount in the invoice, to not let invoices paid if they are too high. So this is something that can be done in Core Lightning using the hook system. So the hook system is something that when some events happened in Lightning D, so which decide what to do, we can tell it to say, when this happens, please ask me what to do after. So the plugin can do that if it subscribes to some of the hooks offered by Core Lightning. And today we are using the RPC underscore command hook, which is one which is special in the sense that this is not kind of something that happened on Lightning D that we want to interfere to, but this is for every RPC command that are defined in Lightning D. We say, hey, when the node do get info, please tell me, and I will tell you, the plugin will tell you what we do. If it's pay, I will tell you what to do with pay. If it's invoice, so when we register to RPC command hook, each time a client does send a request to Lightning D will pass it to us. So maybe we can go. So I don't know if I will show every all of the notes that we are that I have in that document, but because what we want, it's some code running. So here we have a schema that say, when a client send JSON or RPC request, Lightning D, if we register to a RPC command hook, we forward to some plugin, and the plugin has the possibility. So we see we have four way to do to answer to those requests that have been forwarded. Is the one. So this is the notation of JQ. So think about that as a nested JSON object. So result, and you have the object result. So if we just want to say, okay, I pass for this one, I will do nothing with that command, we return result with the value continue, and Lightning D will do the thing that he has to do. Maybe we want to replace something. If we replace, we change a little bit the request from the client, and Lightning D with that modified request will do the normal job. But for instance, for an invoice, we could change the amount before passing to Lightning D to generate the invoice. So we can do really a lot of stuff. Another one that we are looking today is the result return result. That is really what we do. We say, okay, I don't want you to do nothing for this one. I take care, and I will answer to you. And we can also generate an error. Let's do some stuff and see what does it look like. So we're going to use today PyLN client. So we go in our terminal, and first thing that we want to, so we want a virtual environment that we call Vanv. Okay, so we source it to Vanv bin activate. And now we also are going to source. So in the Lightning repository, there is this script that helps us to start Lightning Network running on the reg test locally. So we are going to use it. So we have that command start ln, which is going to start to node on reg test. And something that we can do is when we used the RPC command, when we use a hook in general, and when we use the RPC command hook, we really can mess up with our node. So we have to be careful with the thing that we do, because we really take control over our node, and we can really make it breaks. So it's really, we have to be thoughtful when we decide to do that thing. Maybe sometime we just prefer to have a notification. So everyone can do that. So we have now to node alias L1 CLI. So just to see, so we have, this is an alias for Lightning CLI running on the node with the Lightning directory, which is temporary L1 reg test. And now let's see what we have. So layer 2. So this is the skeleton of the plugin that we're going to use today. So for those who don't know about PyLN client, from PyLN client, we import the plugin class. There we start the plugin class, and after we modify the plugin class at will to add some command. Today we are going to add some hooks. We also can add option when at startup. Everything is done, and then when we run the plugin, this is the moment where we do the IO loop, so the communication between the plugin and Lightning-D that is done via pipes and via for the plugin. When we want to talk to Lightning-D, we wrote to our standard out, and when we receive the request, we read in our standard in stream. So let's do something with that. We could start the plugin right now, and it will work, but it will do nothing, because we have registered nothing and define nothing. So let's define something. So we use these decorators in Python, so plugin, and we want the hooks, and is there we do RPC command. So what is command, and I will show you after what this is doing. We have the definition. So each time we are going to receive a request forwarded with RPC, which has the method RPC command, the function that we are going to write right now, we can call whatever we want, but we are going to call it func. This is that function which is responsible to do the works and constrict the payload of the JSON RPC response that we return to the plugin, where we see here. So when we are in the plugin, we receive something. This is we receive a JSON RPC request. The method is RPC command, because we this is the hook we subscribe to, we register to, and we constrict a result that we send back to a Lightning-D. And this is done via this uses that function, and which is what is important is that PyLN client do everything for us. So we see nothing. We just say do that, please. So now one argument, which is RPC command in that case. So, and keyword arguments. And now this is the thing that, let's say, to start, we are just going to do something that is the basic. We just that we can see here that we want just to have result and continue. you can think at that first part. This is the result field of the JSON RPC request that we return. And what we do now is that we build the other part. Okay, why do I have this? Anyway, so we start with something, continue. So normally, if we are not wrong, what we are just saying is just, okay, I register something, but I do nothing. So we let Lightning D do the thing, but it talks to us. We are going to see almost nothing when we do that, but after we are going to use time.sleep to see what's happened. So let's L1 CLI. So we use a command plugin and we want to start. What do we want to start? We want to start, we give it the full path of pay up to .py. I hope I'm doing something the right way. So we see that this is not done the right way. So let's see. Okay. So yes, so we can see, so I did it the wrong way. So from pilot import, no module named the pilot, so no worries. It's just that we didn't install it, so we're going to do it right now. Pip install and pilot client. So now we have it installed, but as we started the node before we, so let's, what I'm telling you, it's just that when we use the virtual environment, we need to start the node before having sorry. I'm missing the thing. No, okay, it seems to work. So we want to see if we have pay up. Okay, so the plugin is running, so it seems that everything is running. So I hope you are still with me. There is a question, maybe I should have. Okay, so plugins communicate with CLN using standard, so they can be written in any things, even just in batch theoretically. Okay, yes, I should have mentioned that. Thank you, Weir Jobot, for telling that. So I'm not looking at the chat, but I will look in a few minutes when we have done something. So now let's do CLI get info. So this is working normally, and we can't see if the plugin is working. But normally, what has happened is that some communication goes to the plugin, and it sends back something saying we are not doing nothing. So let's add here time sleep, and we want maybe sleep 2 seconds, and we're going to restart the plugin. So let's restart the plugin, and now if we do that, this should wait 2 seconds. So this is waiting 2 seconds, and then, so let's go back to our note. This is waiting. So the client send get info to the get info request. Lightning D say, hey, each time I receive something, I have to talk to that plugin. So this send this to us, but us, we're just saying, okay, we sleep a little bit, and then we return the result continue to say, to Lightning D, we pass, do what you were going to do if I didn't have registered to you. So this is the first thing that we've seen. So now what I want to show you, so I have an order of the thing that I want to show you to make the thing interesting. Yeah, so now we stop sleeping. Now, here, L1 CLI list peers. We just do that to really see that each JSON RPC command pass through the plugin. So we are waiting 2 seconds, which is not the case of list peer. We are not connected to the node 2, so this is normal. Now, we don't want to wait for everything. Let's do something else. And now we are going to take over our node. And what we want is to, instead of just result continue, we are going to pass an object with the first field return and the other field, which is a result. So when we send that, we say to Lightning D, okay, you send me something with the JSON RPC request. I knew what I had to do. I did it. Thank you. Do nothing and just pass it to the client. So what can happen? So we write this one. Now we want something with still a result. And here we have to pass an object. Maybe we can call that object. How can we call that object? Mega. With that field, this one, and I took over your node. So yes, it seems that this is okay. So we see return result and the result that is going to be the payload that we see at the command line. So let's jump into a terminal. Now what we do is, yes, we restart the plugin, and you see it is waiting 2 seconds to do it because we were still running the other plugin. So every command passed to it. Now this is another game, and let's do get info. Boom! I took over your node. Okay, fine. So now any command that we want to run will we go to our node here. We said, so we receive, as we subscribe to the plugin out, plugin hook, we have the RPC command. We construct the payload with that function. And as in the object that we return in the payload is return result, and it will do that always. So after we're going to see how we can look at what does look like RPC command, and this way we'll be able to select and not play with all the command. If we do list appears, the same. So now it's annoying because if we want to start again the plugin and change it, this won't work because, and if we want to stop the node, we can't stop the node. Okay, so this is now the thing that it's not really a problem we're going to see, but you can see how powerful it is, and also how you can get into something in a state that you don't want to be. So let's look for Lightning D. So we have this one. So we can kill which one we want to kill. The first one. So the node 1. We kill it. We're going to start it again. So we do that with daemon. I think it's okay. And maybe PS. to see if we have it running. So we have 2 nodes running right now. So it's okay. So before I answer some question, there is another thing that, okay. Let's go. And after we are going to see, to go to the pay part that we wanted to do. We no longer want to have problem with or not, so we no longer return that boom, I took over your node. And what we are going to do is we return the result, and so the results are going to be the same, but we want to append to some files that we're going to call pay up to in the temporary directory. And what we can do is maybe, okay, to print the representation of RPC command so that we can see what it is, maybe with some new line here. So this should work. So we are going to start that things and look at 2 of the RPC command this object to see what it is, so that we can go further and just select for the pay command. So let's start the plugin. So it starts. It seems to work. Let's do something that we want, maybe that one, get info. So normal, because we passed to the thing, but now we can look at pay up to, and here we see the two requests that we have that passed that were RPC commands. So if someone know, I don't know why there are this one notification. So I really don't know, but it seems that each time we call, we register to RPC command out, this one is also sent. So really, I don't know. I've seen that today. And this is the one that we are interested in. So this is the one that we receive, and we can see that this is the method getInfo. Okay, so this is the way we are going to, after, to just select on the RPC command object, we want the getInfo. No, we want the method, sorry. If it's getInfo, pay, or list peer, we do what we have to do. And if we have some parameters that are somewhere, we took those parameters to do something. So let's go back to here. Maybe we do also list peers to see that really this is what's happening. So now pay up to. So now we have the method list peers and the parameters. So this is what we can select over the method field to do the thing that we want to do. So let's go back to pay up to the pie, and maybe we can do it right now before I stop a little bit to see if you have some questions. So now what we could do is, if RPC, maybe we can call it here request, because this is really the request that the client send, RPC command request. So if we look at pay up to that we are here, we see in the request that we have the field JSON RPC method and params. Let's do method, and if the method is equal to get info, a string, the string get info, maybe let's say that we can return something. So now this is not the I took over your node. We can write I took over get info, but anything can be done here. And if this is not get info, okay, maybe this is better like that. So if it is not get info, we just return we pass to Lightning D and we say, okay, result continue, do what you have to do, and it's okay for me. And let's see if I am lying to you or if we are really moving forward and the things are working. So now we restarted the node, CLI, and get info first. Boom, I took over get info. Okay, did you take over the other one? List peers. No. So list peers works, and if we do other thing, it will works. It will works too. So this is all I have for the first part, and then we are going to do the next part. So I can take a question now, if you have some question, or maybe you've already answered to the questions. Huh? Okay, so there is already an answer to if they can be written in any languages or in other languages. So the answer by Weird Robot is the right answer. And in lnroom.live, where I put all of the write-up of those live on some other videos, there's one that uses that is done with Bash, and another that is done with Python with any library. So it can be translated to any other languages. But really, to think about a plugin, it's just a sub-process of Lightning D that communicate with Lightning D with certain rules via pipes. So standard in and standard out of the plugin to do the communication, and to understand each other, they talk JSON RPC. So what does that mean? That means that any executable or binary can be used as a plugin. So you can write it as you want. Plugins in Core Lightning, in the core of Core Lightning, are written in C. So, but there are many other plugins written in C++, in Go, in Rust. So really, you are free to do it the way you want. Any question, or I continue? Okay, so just checking. I understood the example. The plugin is controlling the result of getInfo, but nothing else in the node. Exactly. So for the last one that we did, so just pick, we pick that, maybe that part, we comment that to clean a little bit. What's happening is that we receive the RPC, for all requests, we receive JSON RPC requests, they are passed to us. And we can see in pay up to that when they are passed, for instance, the getInfo will be that one. So we have the method, and we can select on the method of the thing. Here, at some point, we receive list peers, and we also receive the method plugin when we start or stop the plugin. And what we are doing in the logic here is that, okay, so from the request, I take the method. If this is getInfo, I do something. I can do something else. If this is not getInfo, I just return the control to Lightning D so that he can do what he wants to do. So yes, this is you understood correctly. Okay, so let's continue and see if we can, with the time left, make this thing with so the node because what we want to do is this. So it's the limit with the pay invoice, with the invoice with and pay, and just one thing, register a PC command hook. So one of the things that is done by BOLT11 client and any client in any other languages is that when we received at the beginning of starting the node, we have the get manifest request, and in our results, so this is the request we received when we start the plugin, and in the result, at some point, this is where we define the thing that we want to define. So we don't define any option, so there's nothing for what we did right now. RPC method, we don't define any RPC method, but we say, okay, in the hooks, please, the hooks that has the name RPC command, I want you to pass me the event, and I will tell you what to do. So just to clarify a little bit something that is done by BOLT11 client. So let's go back to PayUp2, and now we are going to need. Let's go to our terminal. We need to connect the node 1 and 2. So connect. So if you remember at the beginning, we sourced the script from Lightning that help us to run Lightning nodes. Sorry, so Lightning does on reg test. So we have 2 nodes, and it gives us also other commands that are helpful to play around. So we connect the node 1 and the node 2, and what we can do also is to fund nodes. So this will fund the node 1 to the node 2. So after we are going to need that. So let's say now one other thing that I wanted to show you. So we comment out everything, and now we still want to write those things to that specific file in a temporary directory, because I want to show you the params when they are passed with the key, or if they are passed ordered in the command line, the params field is different. And what we're going to do is we are not covering all the cases possible, but just it's just an example to see what can be done. So terminal. So it's almost done. We're waiting for confirmation. So we have the confirmation. So now let's start the plugin again. We start the plugin, and let's do something. So we are interested in the pay command. So L1 CLI, we know that what I'm doing will return an error because I'm not passing the right invoice. So here we can pass an invoice. If the invoice has an amount, this is enough. If it doesn't have an amount, we have to pass another argument with the amount that we want. Let's pay. So L1 CLI pay, and we call it back now. Anyway, it will this will make an error. So BOLT11, let's say invoice. Inv. Okay, so we have an error. Anyway, this is not. We are interested in this. So as many things did happen, so we are at that point, the last one. So there's that to see. So in the parent here, we received an array, because if we look at the terminal, what we passed, we don't use the dash key k to pass argument by key, so we have positional argument with that array. This is important if you want to really do a robust plugin. What does that mean? Does that mean that if here we do something, let's pass another one. So this could be the amount of invoice. Okay, so we have that, we have an error, and we can see at the top that we have BOLT11 invoice, amount of invoice that are in an array. And now, if we do something like that, so let's get rid of this one. We write dash k, so, and now this is how we can pass argument with their name. So if we look at the man of the pay command, lightning pay, so we are going to have those information, but we use dash k now. Still we have an error, but it's just to show you that now that part here, so we have the params that are passed with an object. We are not going to treat this case if we have an array or an object, because we are short in time on the what we do with those live on the other video in LN Room is really to understand a little bit the system, how it works, what we can do, what we can't do, how to do it. But we don't write production code. I'm sure that you're okay with me. So now we no longer need this one, so we removed it. Maybe we can still keep that, and now we want the pay command. No, method. So if this is a method, and if this is a command pay, we're going to something. So I took over pay. I just do those things step by step to be sure that I don't write bad code with stupid errors. So this has been restarted, and now what we can do is we want L1 CLI get info. This will works normally, and if we do that with pay, and we don't care of what we put after, but let's say we call it BOLT11, and anyway, I took over the command pay. Okay, fine. So now, what we would like to do is to, if this is the command pay, and if maybe we want, so let's go back to pay up to, and the only one that we care about was this one. Do you see it correctly? So we just treat the case where one parameter, positional parameter, which is a BOLT11 invoice, and in the BOLT11 invoice there are several parts, and there is one part where we can, if we want, we don't have to specify the amount, but and if we don't specify the amount, we have to pass it to the command pay, but we don't do that case. So now what we want, that we know we are in the request, which is a pay command, and we want the params, and we are going to take the first one and call it the BOLT11 thing. So maybe we can do something like that. And this is a request that we have. And the request, we want the params, and we want the first one. And we really assume that we are not going to try the command pay with nothing, which will result in an error. And if I'm not wrong, if the plugin produces errors, the plugin is shut down by Lightning D. So we are trying not to do that. But okay, so if BOLT11, and maybe Let me think a second. Huh? Go back to our note, and what do we want to do? Okay, so we have to check something, but first let's change that and pass it BOLT11, which is right now is a string, and we start the plugin to see if it works, and now we can pay yes, and see if we change that bolt foo. We have bolt foo. Okay, so this is we are going somewhere. Now what we would like to do is to have if BOLT11, so not this one, but if amount of BOLT11 is strictly superior to some things. So here we have okay, let's do hard-coded value superior to that. We have to write that function where I have it already written, so we are going to take it. And now, if the amount is superior to something, what we want to do, blah, blah, blah. Okay, not. So we want to return that things. So what we want to return is that object, but that object is must be part of the result. So this is something that we want to be here. Let's do, maybe we start doing things like that. Result, and now this, why it doesn't want. Okay, so is this working correctly? So hard-coded, and as we don't have an amount here, let's just put if true to that. We go back to the terminal, we start it, and we just see, we just check. Okay, so this part is working, and now we need to have the function amount. So I have it in the note because I didn't want it to make a mistake with that one. So let's go back to pay up to. So now we are going to use that function. But before we use it, let's just go back to the note, and we can see here the BOLT11. So the BOLT11 is a format for like, so this is taken from directly from the BOLT11 spec. So you can check it after. So uses beg32. So we have the human readable part at the beginning that will start with ln. And after, we're going to have TB, TBS, or BC, or BCRT, depending of the chain we are running this. We have after an optional number in that currency, so and maybe a multiplier. So these are the things that happen before seeing the last number one in the things. The multiplier has milli, U, and P for milli, micro, nano, because so when we get that information, we multiply with the number after ln BCRT, for instance, and that number. And we have those examples of that are from this, and for those that are interested in the implementation in Python of encoded or decoding, you can look at the Lightning pay on code, I think that it is. I will post the link in the write-up. But here we can see, so we have the readable part that goes to the one, the last one that we have in that things, and there is nothing here. So this is something that has no amount. So LNBC, so with no amount. This one is LNBC, so Lightning on Bitcoin, 2,500 or 2,500. I don't know how you say that, but with the multiplier. And we stop at 1. So this part is a readable part. We have another here that goes, which this one is in millisatoshi. The previous one was U is for microsatoshi. No, microbitcoin, sorry. All of things that millibitcoin, microbitcoin, nanobitcoin, and picobitcoin. So a better parsing should be done, but let's say that we do that. And another thing that we don't look at is the invoices that have no amount, but also the invoices that don't use a multiplier. So you see here, if we give something else, we are going to get in trouble. So to go with you, we have the multiplier. Now we receive the BOLT11 that the command pay and Lightning D send us because we register to the hook. We match. So we match LN at the beginning. After we match the type of the chain that we don't record that match. And after we absolutely want an amount, and we also want to the sub match, we also want the multiplier. So you see, we don't care about what happened after the one, and we are not taking care of wrong input. We have the amount, which is the match one. We have the multiplier, and at the end we return the float of the amount. So we convert that string into a float. We multiply to the value of one of the multiplier. So I hope this is clear. If you want a better implementation of everything, Lightning Pay on Code plugin by Rusty Russell done in Python. So now we should be able to do something like that. Okay, so let's see what we have. So we can compare here if this is working, and now if this is too high, we just say for now this is too high. Okay, so we don't wait a minute. I check the time. Yes, so we have the time to do it correctly. So this hard-coded value is also the thing that we have here of which is the maximum that we want. So this one part is okay. And now this is the amount of BOLT11. So maybe what we should put here. Well, let's just put something like to do. So we're going to need to put something here. Wait a minute. I just want to be clear. If someone is seeing something that don't work, let me know. So if the request is pay, we take the BOLT11 from the params. Then we check. We have the amount. We check if it is superior to 1 millibtc, and if this is the case, we return that things. Okay, let's do that. And to do that? We have to restart. So we restart the plugin. Now we want L2 CLI invoice, and we want the first invoice, so 0. Let's say that the 1 is going to pass. Okay, so the one BTC have 1, and we want let's say I will just write foo for everything. So we have that invoice. We take that invoice, L1 CLI pay. We passed. I add JQ for the color, and this is working. So far we didn't break nothing, but we don't know if it really works, because what we want now is maybe let's put 2 millibtc. This part should be unique, so if we write this, we take the BOLT11, and now we are going to make the node 1 to pay that invoice, JQ. Okay, fine. So we have this working this way, and now we would like to change the to-do. And what we want to put in the to-do instead is string the amount okay, string amount of BOLT11. Okay, yes, sorry. Plus BTC, because we know that the amount is in BTC. Let's go back here in the terminal. We start again. We generate another invoice that we call foo that shouldn't pass. And now we hope that we are going to see something. Say 1 pay. We pay that one, JQ. And we have it here. So we see the things. So we have only 4 minutes left, so I can't do the part which is to add sorry, how to say, to add a startup argument that changed that, but after we stop the live, I will continue I will do it alone, and I will put the write-up and the code that make the startup option. So, do you have some questions, some thought, or was it interesting? Do you have some ideas to use it? Do you have some use cases? Okay, so we have David Bryson. Yes, so it seems easy to add plugins. You like it, so yes, I really am definitely I definitely agree with you. When you get a little bit how it works, and you use a library, just if you have the right ideas, it's really fast to add plugins and really to make the node do what you want to do. So yes, I totally agree with you, and I'm glad that this is what you think. So Michael, this constraint work best when giving someone else the ability to make payment, right? Do I understand the question? So works best when giving some. Okay, so maybe I don't know if I want to stop myself from spending above a certain amount. I can check the amount visually. I guess it is a second check. Yes. So the idea of that plugin or of using those things, it was just to show that, let's say there is one command that you don't want to do all the work of that is done by the node from that command, but you just want to change a little bit what it does. With RPC command awk, you can do it. And maybe with that examples, what can be done, you can say, I want my node today not to accept to pay more than that things. You just add the plugin, it runs, and you don't have to. No, what I want to say is that with the plugin and this ability to let Lightning D know that you want to be consulted before doing something else, this allow you to do some part of the work at the node level and not at the application level. So if you do it at the node level, you don't have to do it in your web frontend to talk to your node or your app. So you don't have to ask or to implement that elsewhere. You can do it at the node level because maybe it's something that you want to do at the node level. There are other hooks that are used to send, if I'm not wrong, the commit transaction or no, the revocation, some revocation transaction to do the watchtower. So maybe I use the wrong term, but there are another hook that is used to send the information that the watchtower need. Okay, so like a warning that the user needs to override. Yeah, okay. So I think that I've answered to your question, Michael. Other question or maybe ideas on how... Yes, so David says, so you can add a custom alerting metrics, super straightforward. So this is a good point. So this let me talk about notification, because there is several parts that a plugin can do, and the hook is really the superpower that stops the node, and the node is waiting for you to tell it what to do next. So maybe this is not what you want, and if you want some metrics about what you want to do, maybe what you're looking for are notifications. So there is another, the two previous lives was about notification, and the difference is that you can register to any of the notification, and each time some event that you can register to, subscribe to, happen in the node, it's this send to the plugin notification, and the node can continue running and is not waiting for the plugin to give it answer back. So there are hooks, notification. We can add startup option, and the last one is adding directly JSON RPC method to your node. So this is the 4 things I can think about that can be done with plugins. And another one, which is how to talk to the Bitcoin chain that we haven't done yet. But yes, this is super straightforward. If you have the good ideas, Lightning D might have the hook notification that you want to add. Any other question or comment? Maybe if you know how to do the thing in another way, or if you think afterward about a video or an article that you've seen about this thing, really, I appreciate if you send me some those link information, because there is always something to learn from someone on the internet. So I'm sure that you know about some of those stuff. So cool. So it seems that we're done for today, and I hope this was useful. Check in the next week, or when you want, for the write-up on the lnroom.live. There is all the write-up of all the videos and the lives that we do on the community core lightning.org, and I really enjoy the time with you, and thank you. So Drew, I think we're done.
Tony, another great show today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you,
everyone.
Guys.
Yes.
Hi, everyone.
See you in 2 weeks.